everyone, this is Julie with Third Coast Coach, here today with a sustainability tip for you. And actually today it's going to be more like a topic. I'm going to talk about a plant-based diet. Whether you are interested in doing this full-time or you just want to maybe implement 1 or 2 meals a week of eating plant-based, I want to give you some information today to help you get started. So I am a proponent of plant-based diets for several reasons. One being sustainability. So think about the meat and the dairy sections of the grocery store. They're cold, right? So it takes a huge amount of energy, and this is not even, the energy that it takes to actually process the meat and, handle the animals and raise the animals and all of that, but just storing and transporting our cold foods takes a tremendous amount of energy. So, there's a level of sustainability to eating plants, especially if you're eating whole foods and vegetables that don't need refrigeration or dried goods that don't need refrigeration. There's a huge decrease in the need for energy to maintain and sustain that sort of a diet. So that's one reason. The other is the animal cruelty. So I know not all people who are raising animals for food treat them badly, but for me, where I'm at and the food that I have access to, even with some of the labeling on the packages, I did not feel confident in my ability to discern if what I was purchasing was really cruelty-free. So that was one aspect of my decision into making the switch to a plant-based diet, but also sticking with it. So, and then the last thing is, and actually one reason why I stick with it is it's affordable. So I save a lot of money not eating meat and not eating dairy. And I actually do still eat a little bit of dairy. So I don't have the dairy completely out of my diet yet. I do have all of the meat out. I have probably about 90% of the dairy out of my diet. Occasionally, when I get a craving for them, I do eat eggs. And once in a while, I will go with my daughter and get ice cream when she wants ice cream. So I still do that once in a while. But the majority of it is out. So if you are going to do this, and you do want to make the complete switch, start with just 1 or 2 meals a week. And if you're not interested in doing this full time, that is a good practice to implement, not only to help reduce your footprint, but also plant-based eating can be really enjoyable, especially if you get a hold of some good recipes. And you got to find what works for you, but it can be highly enjoyable to eat a plant-based diet, and like I said, more affordable. So start with 1 or 2 meals a week and learn how to cook plant-based. And know it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a gradual process. And for me, it took about a year before I had the meat completely out of my diet. So about once a month, I would crave meat and I would eat it because I figured my body needed the protein or needed the B12 or needed something from the meat that I wasn't getting. So it took me time to learn how to eat plant-based. So know that it takes time, be patient, and don't rush yourself through it. So a lot of people, when they talk about going plant-based, the first thing that comes up is protein. Well, how are you going to get protein? Well, protein really isn't the issue. So there's plenty of plant protein out there. The real issue is vitamin B12. And vitamin B12 is, it's in some plants, but it's not bioavailable to us, meaning through digestion, we can't get enough of it out of the plant to meet our needs for B12. But there is plenty of B12 in meat and dairy and eggs. And you can also take supplements. And then there's fortified foods like nutritional yeast has B12 fortified. Seaweed is a good source of natural B12. And in plant-based meat alternatives, they're usually fortified with B12 as well. So B12 is the real issue. Protein, yeah, you have to kind of learn how to combine proteins and how to eat, what to pick, and make sure you get enough of it. But it's available. It's the B12 that really isn't available enough without a supplement or fortified foods. So what some people do, because it isn't eggs, is they will continue to eat eggs. And that's a personal preference. And if you want to take a supplement, or if you want to continue eating eggs, or you want to supplement with nutritional yeast, however you're going to do it, just make sure you get enough B12. It's a very important vitamin. So talking about protein. So with plant-based diets, the only real issue with protein, not that you can't get it and it's not available, but most of the time you have to combine foods to get your complete protein. So a complete protein contains all 9 essential amino acids. And meat is a complete source of protein. Dairy, most dairy, yogurt, milk, eggs all have complete proteins. But plants usually have some of the amino acids, but not all of them. So you have to combine the foods to get your complete amino acid profile. So an example of this is rice and beans. Combining them, and you don't have to do it in the same meal. Just eating them throughout the day, your body's going to combine those to build the protein that it needs. So you do have to learn, how to combine foods. Another example, a good example that I enjoy of combining different foods to get that complete protein is hummus. So when you combine the tahini or the seeds that are in hummus and the chickpeas, when you combine those, then you get your complete protein. So another example is rice and peas. So the rice and the peas together create a complete protein, and this is, I think, why you see sometimes in stir fry you see peas, and in Mexican rice you see peas, because combining those two gives you that complete protein. And there are some plants that have it all by themselves. It has the complete protein. You don't have to combine anything, but it's not common. So quinoa is one of those. Soy, tofu, edamame, the soybeans, those are a complete source of protein. So buckwheat is another plant that has a complete protein profile. Okay, so that's about it on the protein. So just again, if you are going to do this, start slow, 1 or 2 meals a week, and then build up to just cutting out the meat. And don't worry about the dairy right off. So I would recommend you do the dairy second, unless you're actually having serious issues with dairy and you're lactose intolerant and you need to stop that right away. But if you're not having issues with dairy, then I would recommend you start substituting 1 to 2 meals a week with plant-based, and then as you go, add another night and add another night until you have no meat left in your diet. And keep the dairy for now. That way you don't have to worry about the B12. You're for sure going to get enough B12. And you probably also not need to worry so much about the protein if you get it supplemented with dairy, protein from dairy, as you learn how to combine your foods and eat plants to get the protein that you need. And then once you get that down and the meat's out and you feel ready, then start letting go, weaning yourself off of the dairy. And don't feel bad if you still go back to some of the dairy. I've been eating plant-based now for probably about 6 years, and I still occasionally will eat some eggs and, like I said, go get ice cream with my daughter when she wants to get ice cream, because I can't say no to her, especially when she wants ice cream. So that's your tip for today. Actually, it was a topic. It was more than a quick tip. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. And if you do decide to go down this path and switch to more of a plant-based diet, I wish you much luck. And as always, I wish you luck in all of the good that you do and in all of the positive changes you make in your life. So for more information, tips, resources, more videos, a solution library, free planners, assessments, we have all kinds of tools to help you. Please visit our website at thirdcoastcoach.com and you can get more information there. So thank you for your time. Have a good day.